Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung.
Thanks a lot. Thomas Kutschka, Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. I've got two questions. The first one to the Commission President. Which are the next practical steps the EU can take to help Ukraine cope with internally displaced people? And what are the next steps that could be taken to also help the neighboring countries that are probably seeing an influx of refugees in the next days and weeks? And a question to President Michel. When you called the special meeting yesterday, that was certainly before the attack. Did you have any indications yesterday afternoon when you took the decision to assemble leaders? Thank you.
Indeed, we have worked for weeks to be prepared for the worst to come, hoping for the best, but being prepared for the worst. And this was concerning strengthening our resilience in the cyber field, making sure that we are independent, can be independent of any kind of pressure from Russian gas supplies. We have reached that stage. And indeed, to prepare for potential refugees. We have, with all the frontline member states, now explicit contingency plans to welcome and host immediately those refugees from Ukraine. And what internally displaced people are concerned, we have a lot of support through ECHO, humanitarian aid, shelter, and all the necessities people who are internally displaced immediately need. On top, there will be financial support increased for Ukraine on top of the 1.2 billion macro-financial assistance, which is available right now. So the preparedness is fully alerted. And we hope that there will be as little as possible refugees, but we are fully prepared for them, and they are welcome.
We had indeed indications that the situation was dramatically deteriorating on the ground, but we didn't know that such an aggression, a military invasion, a full-scale military invasion would take place during the last night.
Okay. NPR.
And Deutsche Welle, thank you very much. To all three of you, Ukraine is now under attack because it wanted to come closer to your institutions. This is why it was attacked. First Maidan, and then over its wish to join NATO. And yet all of your appeals for dialogue have fallen on deaf ears. We saw the buildup happen. Nothing you did worked. What more could you have done? And how do you feel today when you are sitting here saying innocent lives are going to be lost? And these are people whose only crime, even in the words of the Kremlin, are that they wanted to be closer to Europe. Thanks.
Well, I think it's very important to remember that there is one that is the aggressor, one state that is responsible for what is happening now in Ukraine, and that is Russia. Russia is the country which is responsible for the loss of lives and the aggressive actions against Ukraine. And we have reached out to Russia for many years, actually, and especially during the last months, to engage in political dialogue to try to prevent this conflict. But at the same time, we are, as Ursula von der Leyen said, we have also been absolutely prepared for the worst, and that's what's happening now. So we have to remember that there's one aggressor, and that's Russia, and Russia is responsible for what we see evolving in Ukraine now.
There's a process to join the European Union, and since many years we are working with Ukraine, and we have gone far. Ukraine has reached quite a substantial progress if you compare it to years ago. To really have the closeness to the European Union at our eyes. We have a free trade agreement with Ukraine. This is a privileged access to the European single market, and increasing integration of the Ukrainian market into the single.
अहम तरीन खबरें अब एक क्लिक की दूरी पर, हर लम्हा बाखबर रहने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा YouTube चैनल। अपने मोबाइल फोन से मुल्की और बैनुल-अक़वामी अहम खबरों तक रसाई के लिए डाउनलोड कीजिए मोबाइल ऐप। बामसूख ज़राए से मुसद्दिका खबरों, तज्ज़ियों और तबसरों से मुस्तफीद होने के लिए विजिट कीजिए पाकिस्तान की सबसे बड़ी न्यूज वेबसाइट ARY न्यूज पहुंचा रहा है खबरें सबसे पहले आप तक, ताकि आप रहें हर लम्हा बाखबर।